Well, everyone, for all of you iPhone users out there, I can definitely tell you there are some common things that a lot of people do that could potentially be some of the worst things you could ever do to your specific iPhone or your iPhone experience. Now, what does this mean? Well, essentially, there's a couple things that I've seen that a lot of people do that they really shouldn't. Now, starting off, the number one thing I would recommend people to avoid on your iPhone, and I'm guilty of doing this too, is pretty much leaving your iPhone in the heat or overheating your iPhone. Now, you might be asking yourself, bro, I don't leave my phone in the heat. It's not like I'm baking my phone outside or leaving it in the oven. Well, that's not how these things go. Typically when you have an iPhone like this, things overheat in general. If you're playing super intensive games, if you're doing a bunch of crazy stuff on it, it can definitely overheat your iPhone. It's nothing crazy, things like this happen, but it is something to keep in mind. And it is one of those things that, if you have an iPhone, if you're playing a bunch of intensive games or doing anything super crazy like that, it could cause your iPhone to overheat. Now, when your iPhone overheats, this has a big effect on the battery. So this could theoretically make your iPhone battery, degrade even faster. It's already degrading, but it could make it at even faster speed, which is something you definitely want to avoid. So that is the number one thing I'd recommend people to avoid doing on your iPhone. I've seen it time and time again. And like I mentioned, I've done this before on my older iPhones. And now on my iPhone 12 Pro, my MagSafe charger seems to be overheating my iPhone. So I'm starting to not use it. And my iPhone 12 Pro battery is degraded like crazy. So take it from me, overheating your iPhone is something I would recommend you guys to avoid. Now, the next thing, without a doubt, is again one of those things that I see people do all the time, and I don't know why they do it. It's basically staying on very outdated software. Now, if you have an iPhone, you're on iOS, as you know, and the best thing about iPhones is that you have the capability of getting software support for a very long time. So if you have an iPhone 6S all the way to an iPhone, the newest one, you are supported, which is great. So you should take advantage of that and stay on the most up-to-date version of software you can. I know many people who have iPhone XRs that are still on iOS 13. And that's not the best thing to do, I understand there's, could be more bugs and problems with the newer software, but that is very rarely the case anymore. And I'm going to be honest, there have been so many security vulnerabilities and so many different things like that, and so many issues with past versions of software that it really doesn't make any sense to stay on those versions of software, when we have the most up-to-date version that fixes a lot of those problems. Now, like I mentioned, it's not a guaranteed fix, but a lot of the issues that you may be having on your older version of software may have been fixed, let alone all the features you gain and stuff. So keep that in mind. That's another big thing I've seen a lot of people do, and I would recommend definitely updating your phone as often as you can. Now, finally, the last little thing is basically not having a backup of your iPhone or not backing up your files that are on your iPhone. Now, this is not an iPhone specific thing. This can really go for any device, but I would highly recommend you guys that if you have an iPhone or whatever, take advantage of iCloud backups with the 5 gigs free. It's kind of annoying that's only 5 gigs, but take advantage of the backups you can do on your computer, your iMac, your MacBook, your Windows, whatever you can. I would highly recommend doing that. There's even apps out there that will, store some of your data for you. I probably wouldn't recommend doing that, but you can do whatever you want. And that's just the number one thing I recommend doing even after all these. It just makes the most sense because you never know what can happen to your phone. Things can get deleted. Someone can steal your phone. You just really never know. So I'd recommend you guys to do that. And that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button. That would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly, everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.